There you go. Hello, everyone. Yay! We're live. It's kind of worked. What time is it? Oh, couple of minutes. That's all right, isn't it? There we go. Hello, everyone. Yeah, we got so much going on. Thanks. I see loads of people saying hello. Hi. Hello, Andrew Whelan. Hello, Patricia. Arnie Presents. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me on? Yeah, good, good, good. Is there anything happening yet? Yeah, well, it is now. Sorry about that.
I'm really happy that this week we have a less quality camera.
Oh, Arnie's... Do you hear that? Oh. Arnie's happy that I've got a less quality camera. Oh, Arnie's pulled his headset out now.
It just unplugged.
You just can't... It unplugged itself today. Yeah, you just can't get the stuff. What can you do? Anyway, thank you very much, Baramus, for your lovely music. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, I've got to put that on sale on the website. Because... Yep, I have got the CDs in their boxes. So if someone in my house is listening, they can go and grab a couple and they are going on sale. So how are we doing? Oh, loads of people online. Loads of comments. Hello, Mark. Mark Austin's been very good this week. He's going to get a special mention. Alan Griffiths. Patricia. Yes, hello, Patricia, all the way over in Canada. Capture moments as they happen. You can do timestamps. Oh, what that is. I'm just... Evening all, David. Guten Abend. Wie geht's? Alles gut, ja? That's it for my German. Good evening, everyone. No Steve Poland, Danny Essin, Craig Moyle. Oh, good. Rob Shaw. Everyone. Excellent. We got people logging in all the time. So that's good news. Right. Now then, what have we got tonight? We got loads of stuff. Where's my notes? Hang on. I don't need this one. You can have that one. Keep that somewhere, please, Arnie. Right. Let's say hello. Right, done all that. Right, we've got some more stuff about St. Patrick Identified. I got some thank yous, a lot of thank yous to do, and that's going on sale tomorrow morning, first thing, 9 o'clock. It'll probably be tonight if you want to sneak in. And we've got a whole load of stuff to do here. So how we did? Ah, yeah, we got loads of people online now. I just wanted to check, give everyone a little chance. Let's do this properly. It's going to be all a bit more, say it's going to be more professional this week. That was the hope. Right, check the screen shares way now. The boys set the screen share up for me. So a moment. You did you, Arnie?
And it actually does work.
Well, let's see. Let's see, shall we? Let's see. Okay, there's a massive lag. I can't see much about that at the moment. I'm going to work on it. Okay, but hopefully now you can see me, and we got different camera. Yeah, first thing is I want to say about what happened last Thursday. Yay, well done, Arnie, that's excellent. I got to look the other way, though, as I'm not looking at the pictures. Okay, now then, where's the camera? We had that really nice, fancy camera last week. Where's the other one gone, actually? Anyway.
The other webcam.
I didn't put a hammer through it, that was very good.
Oh,
yeah.
Over there.
Where is it? Here.
No. Right by the wall.
Oh, yeah. This one, just so you know, I went into the... Just to give an update there while people are logging in as well. Because if you're watching on Thursday, the picture kept going, it kept freezing, then there was no picture, it was a nightmare. So I had this very nice piece of kit here, which I'm going to name and shame. Because I went Friday morning then straight back into my local PC shop. My help guys, Chris, who's very good, helps me out. And because I thought it was the new... Got a fairly new PC. It must be the USB ports because I had trouble with those before. And they seemed to be okay. I went through everything. And it turned out, what brand is this one? I haven't got my glasses. Oh, pass the glasses, please.
Yeah, Jake Deacon's watching.
Oh, Jake's on. Hello, Jake. Nice to see you. There you go. Anyway, this one, lovely looking camera, beautiful pictures. Turns out it's got a dodgy wire there. And that's what was causing the whole problem, which I think it messed up the whole show. And the problem is with these kind of things, if you look at them, they're kind of sealed units. There's no... You can't sort of unscrew it and have a go at fixing it or anything. So that's very annoying. So as you can see, I'm not such high res this week. Not such glorious colour. I had to put up with me like that. Dotty monos. Right, okay, so the picture on the screen, for those of you in the Facebook group, will recognise this. Because I put this up during the week. Because I was just mentioning when I was... seeing Alan, about 10 days ago now, isn't it? Last week sometime. We just going through the channels, and there was a King Arthur type film. And I set the challenge to Britain's Hidden History group. what is this film, because it caught my attention. Because if you look here, he's got the Welsh dragon. It's very clearly the Welsh dragon on his surcoat, which is nice to see on something Arthurian. It's not a very historical film. It's I'll give you a clue. It's 1950s, and just get the chat going there if anyone's not aware of it. I'm going to leave this up, and I'll give the answer a little bit later in the show, because a few people did get it right during the week. Oh, hang on. I think I've written down the funny answers. I'm not sure I actually wrote down who got it right. So I have to look back to the Britain's Hidden History group. Anyway. Now, a little treat here. I thought I'd share some pictures. Don't worry about the bandage on the hand. Nothing serious. It was just like a saw cut type thing. Just fixing it up. Everything was fine. Just stopping things getting on it. That's all that was. See some healthy tucker in front of him. He's on fantastic form. There we are. I love this picture. Might have to use this one more often, I think. I got some great new videos which are going to be putting up during the week. And you can see him there talking about... he's very, very happy with... you can see him now look at the new Trojan War. Likes the cover. Thought the picture of him, he looked well tough on there. Quite like that. Oh, goodbye, Arnie. I've been deserted.
Yeah.
So that was all good. And I spoke to Baron, who last time I drew him, if you saw the picture on the other one, Moses in the hieroglyphs, made him look like Prince Charles. I'm not going to do my Baron impersonation, although I can't stop myself sometimes. You draw me like Prince Charles, man. It's a bit like that. Okay. Now look at this. Got some nice old pictures up. This have been shared with me. Now I'm going to be using we're getting these pictures together to go in the new Britain's Hidden Christianity book. So I thought you might like this. There's some historical pictures here. These are very important. Can anyone work out there? Hang on. Ali's gone. I've got no comments on my screen. Massive lag. So I tried to turn his Arthur and the fight. Oh, here we go. Arthur for the fight and the buffered crust here. I don't tell me it's buffering again, please. It shouldn't be this week. I did have some very funny answers. I'll be reading a couple of those out as well. So this is an example here, as you can see, of some archaeology taking place. And I think if you look very closely, I think this person with the ginger hair here is Mr. Wilson, I believe. I'm not sure. I'd love to know who all the other people are, if anyone could tell me. It's one of the reasons I'm putting the pictures up. It'd be nice to add the names to the captions. And when was this dig? Back in the 1990s, so everyone here would be 20 odd years older. So if you haven't recognised it by now, I'm sure people have. Yes, it's the St. Peter's dig. Well done, Patricia. Chris Wood. Oh, everyone's getting it. David Mosley. There we are. Everyone's recognising this. So it's a great picture. And I see. I'm not sure that is now. I thought this was Alan at first. I don't think it is it? Gosh, he looks very different there. Strange photograph. So again, if people can fill out, please, on the comments or email me. If you're not watching it live, just send me a message. If you can't put this in the comments. It's the North Wall, Cor Emlyn, St. Peter's Church. Yep, you got it, Taliesin. And I'm trying to work out exactly where we are in the church, because they had a tent over the top. And I'm not quite sure exactly which. I've been in there quite a lot now, but as you can see, they buttressed the walls. This is the big concern during the work, that these walls become unstable if you're not careful. Dig this away, and potentially very dangerous. This was a big concern during the dig. The whole thing collapsed. You could even kill someone down there. And you can see there's a skull there. Oh my goodness, there's a skull. So, well, based on where that is, this would be the altar. There's a solid wall there. Can't quite work out which part of the church this is. There we are. Anyway, suggestions on a postcard, please. Nah, it's not Alan, is it? Looks a bit like Alan. Nah, it's not Alan. Anyway, if you know who these people are, or if it is you, even better, anybody who was at the dig, please, because I'm going to put an update in the Britain's Hidden Christianity book, which will be out in a couple of weeks. I'll put an update in the back of the book about the latest things that we found since then that have been added in. And also, one of the amazing things, and this is where I got my first big thank you of the night. Last week I did an appeal because I was given more typewritten notes, tons of them, to use. These are from Alan and Barham, okay? The problem was they weren't in computer format. They're not silly typing in. Because sometimes you get the type sheets. I can stick them in a scanner, and you've got OCR and things like this, document readers, and convert it into Word documents. I mean, you still need to do an awful lot of work to make it work. You know, there's little typing errors and things get misread, but it saves a huge amount of time. Unfortunately, with these, I didn't want to take the notes away. So what I did was just use my camera phone, and just kind of click, 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 turn over the pages, and it's absolute gold dust. The problem is, it's in that chunk alone, it's about 150 pages. That's a lot of typing. So last Thursday, I know not everyone watched the Thursday, not the usual Sunday show. It was just an update, make up for missing last week's show. There was, I asked for volunteers to help, and if we did 10 pages each, and then maybe another 10 pages each, we'd get it all done a lot quicker. And the response was brilliant. I am so grateful and pleased, and everyone was just fantastic. Thank you very much. So I'm not. Thank you. I hope this is. I think there's a couple of people I haven't mentioned on here. I will be mentioning next week. I've already started getting the pages. Not only have I sent the pages out, some of them I already sent out today. They've already started coming back typed. I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. So we got some of the people here I want to mention: James Clark, Bob Morgan, Monica Escobar, Darren Cole, and now Dave from Durham. I just call him Dave Durham. I'm not sure he's got a different surname to that, but there we go. Richard Davis, who I think you know, he's the one who did the Cumbrawn videos. Stephen Pole, who's been on videos with us, got a drone. Adrian and Annabelle and Kerry, Mark, Russell Thomas, David Mosley. So that's quite an army. And when you got enough numbers like that, you can move mountains, you know? What's that old... what's his name? Dean Martin film. What does it say? This said they say an ant can't. There goes another rubber tree plant. You got enough people, got high hopes. We can do it. Okay, so that makes a big difference. That brings things forward really much quicker, and back on course to have that out in the next couple of weeks, along with the Odyssey book. And also means they got this fantastic book about the origins of religions and the whole Jesus being Osiris and all the religions tying together. It's just one of those great works that would look like never getting published. So there is more to get typed in, and we'll have that book out quickly as well. So there we are. Exciting times. Here we go. Hey, here's a nice photograph. Hope everyone enjoys that. And this is weird background. Oh, I know what's happened here. Sorry. The photograph ends here, okay? This must be the desk or something where I was making my own copies. So does everyone recognise those two gentlemen? God, it's like name the person tonight, isn't it? Hey, I'll give everyone a few seconds to have a guess at those. The one on the left you should get easy enough. The one on the right, not everyone might know. Well, I'm not sure I got it right, actually. I'm 90% certain I know who it is. But the person looks a bit different these days. Again, it's 20-odd years ago, isn't it? So I'm just giving it a chance. So we got some... No, not Mr. Flynn, not Mr. Elliot.
No, Elliot Flynn knows. He made a guess on the thing, and I said very close.
Oh, one guess on what? On the Arthur story? On the Arthur film?
No, the old film, yeah.
Ah, right. Trying to guess the name of that.
He said one of them knights of the...
It is a knight, yeah. I should have given a clue on that picture of King Arthur. It's not... King Arthur does not appear in the film, all right? It is named after one of the knights. Because I had loads of suggestions about round circles and all sorts, and I thought it might have something to do with Holy Grail, and I didn't realise how much fun it was going to be on the Hidden History Facebook group, because, normally it's quite serious, you know, we discuss history and references and discuss things. I mean, it's light-hearted, it's not, it's keep a lovely, nice, friendly atmosphere, but just like, what's the name of this film? Because I can't remember. I got loads of response, so everyone chipped in, which is great. Oh, here we are. So, I think we got a bit more on the... David knows the details of the archaeology really well. So he's thinking it must be the southwest of the back. Yeah, it's still got a place, isn't it? I'll just go back up there again. It's because what's confusing me is if we're looking at the Right, I gotta get my north, south, east, west, always get them mixed up. There's an entrance. The new main entrance is from the east. Alright, we'll go with the convention. It's not quite east, but that's the one that is there. And the layout, as you go in, you have a bit to your right, which is sort of an extension, apparently, and then the main church. And this part here would have been the main, where the altar would have been. And that would have been presumably where the burial would be. So either this is the altar going across there, which doesn't make sense because there's no entrance way. There should be an entrance here. So this must be the wall. In which case, where's the return wall coming this way? The altar should be here on a return wall, I'd have thought. So I am a little bit confused by this picture. So if someone can shed some light on that, that would be great. And I'm pretty sure that's not Alan, by the way. Right, any more guesses on these two? I can't see any guesses, but I've got a big lag on here. Oh, it's just, I've got to sort it out so I can see the live.
There's one that says Dave Lee Travis. And there's one that says Barham on the left.
Barham on the left, yeah, there's a good looking fellow there, young Barham Blackett. Yeah, David, spot on. Dave Lee Travis, the hairy cornflake. No, it's not him. And the other one I thought it might be as well is, and it's a bit of a clue in a way. What's the name of promise me, son, not to do the things you've done.
Oh.
Walk away from trouble when you can.
Someone said Berkeley.
Berkeley?
Berkeley. I don't know if it was for the
Where?
film. There.
Barclay? Oh, I don't know who that is. It's
I don't know if it was for the film or for that.
Someone's just jumped in with block capitals. Wellville. I'm not sure who Wellville is in block capitals, but before I finish then, who's the country western singer I'm trying to remember? Oh, come on, the most famous country and western singer. Coward of the County and all that. My brain today! I hope I'm getting difficult questions. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Dave. No, never mind. I can see his face. He looks like that. Anyway, so thank you very much. The person on the right there, right as we look, is indeed Lee Pennington. So well done. Is it Grant Berkeley? That's a great question. I wish it was Grant Berkeley. I'd like to meet him. That'd be very exciting. Kenny Rogers, thank you, Mark. Kenny Rogers, yeah, Kenny Rogers. I said I'd be a big Kenny Rogers fan. And Lee Pennington, I'd just like to point out, has got a fine singing voice, and he plays the guitar. And he showed one of his tunes recently from decades back, which I'm supposed to be learning. Me and Arnie were supposed to be learning it and playing it.
Which one?
I forgot about that. The one I showed you him doing on stage. He plays on guitar as a song that Kenny Lee Pennington wrote. Alright, so anyway, sorry, I'm dilly-dallying. But there's a picture which I presume is from the 90s. And I have to say, if that's St. Peter's, it looks completely different. I mean,
the walls are a lot lower.
Everything looks different. I'm not sure about that picture, so people can fill me in on that.
The walls are a lot lower now.
Well, the walls are lower now, but where's all the entrances and stuff? It just doesn't look right, does it? It looks weird. So, no wonder when whenever I show Alan and Barham, particularly Alan, if I show him videos we've taken, like I showed him quite a lot of films from this channel and ones I'd taken when I went up there to show him. And you can see how upset he is, the speed at which this building is disappearing. You know, supposedly this latest iteration of St. Peter's Church. Oh, sorry, for those who don't know, by the way, so I'm making a lot of assumptions. Everyone's part of this little club that knows everyone, knows everything. We have near Bridgend, I suppose. What you have is this mountain, and on the top you've got St. Peter's Supermorton Church, which just means St. Peter's on the mountain, so you have the Welsh version of that as well. And behind it, which must be this here, if this is the right church. It can't be the right church. It looks so different. Anyway, what we have up there is Caer Caradoc and Toyn Caradoc, and it does appear to be a very important ancient British town, city really. You've got Trefran, which is Trev is the town of Bran, which mutates to a V in Welsh, Trefran. You've got St. Ilidge just down the hill, which is the first, could be the first Christian church in the world, certainly in the West. And crucially, this church, this ancient site, is very important, and it was falling into dereliction. So Wilson and Blackett bought it. Must be 30 years ago now, And the reason they did this was they were pretty sure that originally this was a 1st century church, going way back to 50s or 60s AD, one of the first in the world. Very important site. And if you go further forward, then this is where in the 400s the Great Betrayal was done with Vortigern, where they had the get together for the peace treaty and the peace talk, where the Saxons and the British got together to discuss peace. And an agreed signal, and the Welsh were all very drunk apparently, out came the knives, and they stabbed them, and 300-400 Welsh nobles were killed. And this is supposed to be the source of this sort of ongoing enmity. Never trust a Saxon is one of those other Welsh sayings, that kind of thing. So it goes back a long way, about 1600 years. And also a very famous recorded burial of King Arthur II, which is Arthur ap Myrig, the son of Myrig. The service is supposed to be carried out here. And one of the reasons for that, archaeology digs you just saw, was to see if we could find the burial or the body of Arthur. As it turns out, although the service was carried out here, it would seem the burial was carried out nearby. And there's a mound. Yeah, you can't really see it here. There's a mound over the back of this hill, and other people have put that online, so it's not really a secret. And I'll probably share something about that next week. It's a very it's not much to look at really, to be honest. It's this little mound, but the views are spectacular, and it's a great site. Anyway, another thing. Okay, something completely different, as they say. Let's make sure. How am I doing? We're going very slowly. That's all right. We're having good fun. Right, we got some more comments on there. That's the main entrance facing west. Hi, not so tough, Alan. Oh, sorry, okay. Right, this was an interesting map I found, sorry, they got maps out and I was looking at, which is a map of the Old North. So, a Gogledd. I think this is probably about 400s, I'm guessing. I think I made a note of it somewhere, where it was, possibly 500 AD. And it's interesting because as I keep emphasising, this is not just about Wales or South Wales. I really want to do more. I'm going to mention in a minute Johnny Booker, a fantastic guy. He came to see me and we talked about, he told me a lot about Elmet and a lot of the stuff in the north of England and the connections there with Arthur. And I've also had people in touch with me. Please get in touch again. I've lost the contact details to talk about the Scottish connections with King Arthur. And also we'll look at some of the British history. It's not just about South Wales, okay? And what's interesting here, there's the Firth of Forth. If you know your Scottish geography, there's the Solway Firth. I'm not going to say anything. I just realised I might get this all wrong. But this is Scotland. Anyway, we know that. If you look on this old map, this is Cymru here. It's still called Cymru. And this is a kingdom that shrunk over time to become Strathclyde and then eventually got swallowed up, if you like. And one of the reasons was, and this is an interesting thing, which I hadn't thought of until a couple of weeks ago, reading through some notes and some old ideas. One of the problems facing the British was that after the comet, right, again, there might be people watching for the first time, the research shows around about 562 AD, a comet came... Oh, where's my globe?
Your what?
Globe. The globe, which I want to show everybody, which I can't show everyone this time. Hang on.
Cool chair. Wait.
Yeah, except the wheels are missing and the chair's broken.
It's not moving.
Anyway, so... we got full screen here. Where's Britain? God, we are far north, aren't we? There's Britain. And the idea was there was an incredibly advanced civilization in Britain up until about 562 when in full screen there, when a deadly and terrible comet struck. And the idea is the comet, there's archaeological evidence up in Sweden, up here. Let's get a bigger one of these globes. It cut through Britain, doing enormous damage to Britain and Ireland. And if you draw a straight line, if you follow the straight line, you can follow it all the way around, and you'll find it hits South America and it finds Bolivia, where you'll also find the whole civilization there wiped out. And there's lots of research going on in Bolivia, lots of research has been done in the past in Sweden to show there was some sort of disaster. And if you draw that line through, eventually it comes across, across there. It should eventually, they find damage, the last remnants, if you like, of this comet might have hit in Australia. So it sort of wrapped its way around and boff. So this thing would have been horrendous. And this ties in then with those vitrified forts you see in the north of Scotland, where the stones melted because the temperatures were so intense. One of the things that also seems to happen is that initiated or prompted some movement of the Scots from Ireland over into Scotland, because Ireland was devastated as well. So this might have been a prompt for this migration to have started. So up until then, you got the situation where this is still called Cymru, as in Wales. And if you want to pause this and have a look, you got Gododin angles. You just caught my eye, because Gododin means northern, if you didn't know. You've got northern angles. Manai Gododin Brithoir, which I'm not quite sure what that is. Anyway, so there's all some interesting, more information on that. And I want to do, next week, I really want to do more about north of England, Scotland. So please, if you've got information on that, please get in touch. Oh, here's the Clyde. There we are. I knew I had it wrong. We're a bit further south than I thought. There's the Clyde. Okay. Alright, so then I zoom in on that. So you can see some of the names. You see very Welsh names you get up there. And of course in this area you got Cumbria, coming from Cymru probably. And places like that. Anyway, I can't spend too long on that today. Right, another photo quiz for everyone. God, it's happening this week, isn't it? It's a beautiful photograph. As you see mountains in the background. I hope it comes clearly on your screens.
Is that by Everest?
It looks like Everest, doesn't it? It's actually in mid Wales, or South Wales.
It's
South Wales. It is big. And I'm guessing all these loads and loads of little trees have now grown to big trees, which makes it look a bit different. Now I'd like help here, please, identifying this stone if someone can. I'm just waiting. You're on full screen, can't see the map. Oh God, idiot. Me, not you. I went over to me, I've got to go back, didn't I? Sorry. Thank you for saying. Alright, so I'll just talk about the map one more time. Just Oops. Okay, so there's Gododin angles, Manai Gododin Brithoir, and then we got Galwidel, or whatever that is. See, there's the southern wall. That's interesting. Would that be Hadrian's Wall, I guess? Yeah, then you got the northern wall there. Antonine Wall, was it called, I think? Alright, okay, so sorry about that. And there's me trying to be clever, changing screenshots. As you can see, it's called Cymru. A lot of Welsh names. Tyri. Got the Tweed there if you're trying to get your bearings. Okay, and let's see. Anyway, you can pause that and have a look yourself. I'm sorry I jumped off that one. Right, so here you go. No wonder no one was guessing the stone. Couldn't see it. If someone had got it without me putting it on the screen, that would have been impressive, wouldn't it? So there you go. Does anyone know what stone is this? I've got some curious markings and writings on it and where it is. Give everyone a couple of minutes. Thank you, Benny, for letting me know you couldn't see anything, by the way. Here we are. Glad someone's paying attention. Alright, interesting one. And I know what I think it is, but I don't have any confirmation. I did ask Alan, he wasn't sure. But, so I like to give people a little bit of chance to think about it and where that is. I think, I don't know, has any choices in? Mine Maddock, Alan Rees. Can you tell us some more about that, please, Alan? What's Mine Maddock? That's the depiction gate. Needs to know the print date. Okay. Oh, I see the print date of the map. Yes, I'll try and get some more details on the map. I have got more pictures where I photographed the whole thing. Alright, good question. Yeah, when was the map? Very important questions. What date they're being depicted? So the debate's depicted, I think, 400 or 500. When was the map drawn and what were its sources? Quite right. I'm off a bit half-cocked there, but we'll come back to that. Alright, okay. Hey, sorry, this one, I think it's... could be the Bodvok stone, I think. But I could be horribly wrong on that one. So if someone could... San Helen... Yeah, Brecon Beacons, Dave Hughes, yeah, I'd go... Oh, sorry, not Hughes. Dave Hoops. Yeah, at the bottom of the beacon's the Bodvok stone, which I think the original's now in some museum somewhere, but there is a replica up there. It's always a bit weird when they do that. Which one becomes the real stone? And there's another one I'm trying to plot, because I think I know where this is. Do you recognise this, Arnie?
No.
I think it's near us, near Penturk.
Is it?
You know what I call those massive beaver...
Oh, the beaver things.
Yeah, lodges. They reckon they're the biggest... is it beavers? What are they called?
Badger.
Badgers. Thank you, Arnie. Good job you're here. I knew you'd come in useful one day. Not often. So the lodges there. So, yeah, I think these have been described as, if they're the ones I'm thinking of, beaver lodges. Right, they're the biggest lodges in Britain. And I was like so impressed with this, and I showed the boys and everything. Look at these massive beaver lodges. And when I saw this picture, and I suddenly thought, I bet they're not beaver
Badgers,
lodges.
not
Badgers,
beavers.
badger lodges. Sorry, beavers make dams, badgers make lodges. And I think that might be Barham on the picture. It usually is. And this is supposed to be the entrance to a fortress. So, again, interesting one. I'm not sure it is. Alan couldn't remember. I got a feeling it's the one round by Penturk, which is described as badger lodges. Whew, got it right. Before I get told off again. Oh, right, back to this. I was going to do this at the end of the programme. I might forget. And people are like, you didn't give us the answer. Right, okay, hang on, let's make sure I get this right. I had some guesses during the week. Jeff Day, yeah, sets for badgers. Yeah, they have sets, but they have lodges as well, I think you'll find, where they make these houses for themselves. And it's called, oh yeah, and a really big one, like this, can be called a citadel. There we are. Things you find out in hidden history. One minute you're doing history, next minute you're finding out that if you get a really big collection of badges, it's called a citadel. So I was told, I don't know. Right, okay, so Jeff Day during the week went for Connecticut Yankee at the court of St. King Arthur. And I got Knight to the Round Table was guessed by John Coyne. And I think it was John Coyne who got it right in the end, I think.
I can't remember who, but someone guessed Lancelot, which is close.
Which is very close. And it is, in fact, The Adventures of Sir Lancelot. So it's better than close, it's spot on.
But I thought you said it was The Adventures of Galahad.
Yeah, I put everyone on the wrong thing, because I thought it was Galahad. Which everyone who spent ages looking for Galahad. It is Lancelot. And it is a little bit interesting, this film. I'm going to try now, while you watch me struggle with technology.
It landed!
It landed the right way up. Catch that a second. Oh no, I've messed up my presentation. Bear with me. No, and it's supposed to be on the... out my way a second. Hang on. Oh no, I can't do it. Anyways, what I was going to do is... where's the... Okay, alright, we're just going to have to go with this. What I was going to say was, anyways, I was just going to go to you can look it up yourself, go to Wikipedia, go anywhere. Lancelot, 1956, it was quite interesting, because it was a British production in America, and some episodes were in colour, but in Britain it was only broadcast in black and white. There we are, so not really that worth risking the crash and everything for. But it's great, you can actually see there's a Welsh dragon flag up there as well.
It's like Aragorn at the end of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he's got the Aragorn pose there, isn't he, with the two-handed sword up there. It's quite a funny film, if you want to watch it. The acting is so wooden, honestly. People just not used to being in front of camera in those days. I don't know where they got the people from. Right, anyway, so there you go. Ho, ho, ho. There's like a sort of interesting scene of everyone going around. For some reason we got a two-headed thing there. I thought it was Germany, I thought. Two-headed eagle or something. So here we go. And that's bizarre, that one. Almost like a Union Jack. Anyway, there you go. Right, we're going to come back to that in a second. Alright, let's go over to me a second. Right, St. Patrick identified. Yes. Thank you very much. Just change the subject. St. Patrick's identified. If you missed Thursday, this is the book Barron's been working on. I just want to check. I am going to refer to him as Barron. This is his pen name because it's a different style of book. And he wanted to show that it's very much an idea of him writing a book not in partnership with Alan Wilson, because everyone thinks it's just Alan does everything. And if you speak to Alan, you'll find it's most definitely not the case. And there really are a partnership, and Alan's very grateful. But Barham, here's his chance to get a little bit of the attention. Like I said, we got on sale, well, tonight really, but tomorrow morning officially. And the Patreon subscribers, those who support the channel, had the first dabs to get the signed copies. And nearly all the signed copies have gone. There's only a few left, and they will be, I'm talking about 4. And they will be first come, first served on the signed copies, alright? I just want to talk a little bit about the book, because I've got a bit further into it now. I still haven't read all the book, but I'm well past halfway. Now, the first chunk of the book... Dibs, yeah. You got to.
Came through with first dabs.
Who said? Someone said dibs today. Did someone really say dibs on the channel?
No. It's only coming through now. You said.
Yeah.
You said Patreon supporters get first dabs.
Oh, it's dibs, not dabs.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been corrected. Children say dibs, not dabs, apparently. I think it was dabs in my day, but there we go.
Oink.
Oink, oink. All right, okay. What I want to do on here is just give a little idea about what I've read so far. The amount of information on Patrick is fantastic, and it's sort of jammed into this first part of the book. So it's real, just to warn you, this is real saturated with information and the politics. And what I'm really interested in is the part that's discussing the relationship between whereby the dying embers, if you like, of what was the Roman Empire are trying to project its power beyond the empire. So Ireland wasn't part of the empire. Ireland was, well, independent, really. But they were, by connecting through the religion, they sort of tie them in and extend influence. And Patrick seemed to have the same agenda. Now, of course, the way it gets interesting is you've got the British version of Christianity is at odds with the Roman one. So you're creating this tension between Britain and, or at least Western Britain, and Ireland. And Patrick, being born in Glamorgan, he's not really fitting in. So he's gone to Brittany, and then to Rome, and then back to Ireland, and then back to Rome, trying to build up his own reputation, if you like. And it's a fascinating story how the politics all ties together, because this is when we get to Constantine, who's the key to all of this, because Constantine's the one who made Christianity an official religion of the empire. And he was, like all empires, like there's a story going on. I don't get to current politics, but there's a story going on at the moment in the current world where this kind of idea of a world religion is being promoted. So you got one world order. So it's called Chrislam or something like that. Christianity, Islamic combination. The Pope saying we should have one religion and various other people. I don't get into politics. It just thought it was worth mentioning because it's so similar the situation. Whereas we had this Council of Nicaea then. I will not guess the dates. I think I know, but we'll, as I couldn't remember Kenny Rogers, I better pass that tonight. So the idea was then to get everybody in this empire following the same religion, which is what the book Britain's Hidden Christianity very much goes into. How you're going to make some sort of thrash out, some sort of compromise. So it'd be the Welsh name Yesi, or the British name for Jesus gets adopted, and then the Eastern name Krishna. So you get Yesi Krishna becomes Jesus Christos. Okay, that's an example. And then it's a very controversial area, but then how the different parts of the Bible were agreed upon and brought together to keep various factions happy. So it would seem with some of it wasn't even there's a lot of kind of philosophy and stuff from the 3rd, 4th centuries, which must have been written after the original Bible was written. Anyway, all sorts of stuff like that. Get into deep water. I will do a proper broadcast on the Britain's Hidden Christianity book, maybe next week actually. Yeah, look out for that, because the book's almost done. Especially with all the new typists. Thank you very much. That extra part is really, really interesting. Anyway, getting back to this book, St. Patrick Identified. So all those want a complete set of Wilson & Blackett books. This one's going to be $12.99. Kept the price down on this one. If you haven't a chance to get it. There's other instances like a place for Rottingdean, which I wish he'd made more of that actually. I didn't realise about it. Down in Sussex, I think it is. It's gradually falling into the cliffs, and they've got tracing Patrick moving around, and he goes all around the world doing this. And the second half of the book is completely different. It's not like anything you've read Wilson & Blackett before. This is pure sort of Dan Brown type adventure writing. We've got an escaped tiger, we've got someone on the move. It's going to go around the world, but then it does come in with the different families tie into this, like the Stradlings of Atlantic Major, the Turbervilles, how their ancestries cross in. It's a really fascinating book. So hopefully I'll get that finished in the next few days, because it's a lot to read and it's cracking stuff. So get your orders in, please. Nice and early. It'd be great to get those sold. I've only got a limited number. I've got so much stock. And then when they've gone, you have to get some more. So first come, first served on those. All right. Sorry, Nikki Griffiths. Thank you very much. Nikki Griffiths, one of our Patreon supporters. I should do a special thank you to those as well. People like Hugh Evans and that. Been stalwarts. Adrian, since the beginning. Thank you very much. Richard. I'll do a proper thank you. And I'm sending out some little certificates and that to the Patreon supporters. We do need help, okay? It does cost money to do all this. Like, for example, having to get a new camera and fix the computers. We're not really getting any income apart from the book sales and what people generously contribute. It's a full-time job doing this. It doesn't really pay. So any help, much appreciated, all right? I don't like to put the begging ball out too often, but we do need some help. Now, one idea Nikki's done is her signed copy. What she's doing is she's putting it up for auction. So, and I have a thing with the auctions, because the richest person always wins it, and you don't get a chance. You can bid people can bid for free if you like. So I'm doing it slightly differently. I'm sure Nikki won't mind. Nikki, by the way, is off travelling at the moment. She's off around the world, well, Europe anyway, in a camper van, and not really practical to send her books and things like that. So rather generously, she said, right, take my copy. What I'm going to do is auction it, and I come up with a better idea where it's going to be it's going to be effectively raffled. So you can buy tickets £1 each, and for every £1 you get your name included in the hat. So you spend £5, you get 5 chances to win it, okay? And I'm going to add something to the book to make that extra special as a one-off, and it will not be repeated. Well, I've written a forward in there, and I could sign that. I'm not signing any other books. So there's one, for example. It'll be only in this book, £1 a ticket, and I'll work out a way to do it. Probably a just giving site, or you can just... I need to work out the technicalities, or you can just, PayPal some money through. What I want to do is set up a just giving with a target, and everyone wants to give £1 or £2, £3. You go in the draw, you might win this, and it will be much gratefully received to help the cause. As you know, we also did a share of everything to Wilson and Blackett. Okay, so we're going to do that, so thank you very much. We might tie this in with the other thing we're talking about. Thanks to the office to help regarding getting Wilson and Blackett a oven. They need to be able to cook properly. It's ridiculous. So I want to do that really quickly and set up a Just Giving page. I'll have that done in the next few days. If anyone's done a Just Giving or whatever they're called, one of those fundraisers before, please email me with your experiences and how best to do it. Because I am going to have to research how to do it and all that kind of stuff. And it's going to take up valuable time, which could be spent getting the books out and getting the books done and more videos done, all right? So if you know more about it, please, you can even organise it, okay? You know me, I like things open, lots of people involved, teamwork, and it's becomes a bigger and bigger and bigger organisation. Like all those wonderful people who have done the typing, it's great. So if you know anything about fundraising like that, please let me know. So I think we need about 700. Ross, what about the Blackwood footage? Sorry, you're on about the... Yes, I need to get that video up as well. I think you're on about the Eglwys Mynydd, is that the one? The mound on the church with Sean. Yes, I'll put that out of the way. Well, I was away. I didn't expect to go away, as you know. I was away last week. So I'll make a note of that. Hang on. I do have something on Blackwood coming up, though. Blackwood footage. I keep making a note to do it, they're not doing it. Right, okay, so that's the little break in play there. Okay, we'll come back to these fine-looking gentlemen here. Da-da-da. Right, okay. And one which has come again in our group is looking at this picture from 1945. I think everyone recognises this, if they've been on here before. If you are new, or you want to find out more about it, this is Two in a Glow, okay? Toy in a Glow. I always go, interesting one here, by the way. I always think of it as Twyn y Glow, Twyn, Toyn, which means mound. But I noticed Alan Wilson always calls it Twyn y Glow, Tywyn, Twyn y Glow. And the reason is Toyn means shining or bright. So this is the shining place. And the story is, if you're not aware already, This is near Anisable, and it's where the Ark of the Covenant is said to be buried or stored. It's not even buried, really, it's in a chamber. I know it sounds crazy if you've never heard this before, but there's whole books and research on it. We've got more stuff coming out soon about this. And what you'll find is the top part of this mound is man-made, and that's quite well established. You can see from the various ways looking at it. People have got up there back in the 90s. Paul Hartel. I haven't seen Paul's name tonight. I hope he's coming in. Usually logs in as A Hart if anyone sees him, and he would know about this. And I think he was there when they're actually up there doing the LiDAR detecting and the ground penetrating in his chambers. And you can see drainage sumps where the water comes through to keep the chamber dry. And anyway, you'll have to read more about that. If you haven't seen it or know anything about it, this is the famous mound, okay? And what was curious was he's 1945 on the Google Time Machine, on Google Pro, on Google Earth. And you can see what the heck were these things. Now, on the other picture, it wasn't so obvious. But on this picture, I think I go with what David, or David, as I will like to call him, David Mosley was pointing out. This must be some sort of mark on the film or the negative or in the processing. Because from the other angle, it wasn't so obvious. It did look like this might be a track. You can see it looks like it's got grass in the middle of 2 lanes. A path going up to the top. But this picture is a slightly different angle, and suddenly you can see it's not following the hill. This mound drops off quite steeply and goes down. And it doesn't seem to drop looking at this. So he's pretty sure that it's just... it was always confusing us if this was a major... Because another person, Neil, my cousin Neil, pointed out, if you look at the shadows, this is actually something elevated. So I'd agree with that. At first I thought it was like a path, and it was sunken, if you like. But he's quite right. The shadow, especially from the other angle, this is elevated. So I think this might actually be in a double exposure, where this is a path from somewhere else. What it's doing, I don't know. Because of course the other issue then is this does look more realistic. They both do. So I'm going to raise this again because I want to throw this out to people. You can have a look yourself. If you type in Unisable, here we go, YNYSYBWL, and go to Google Earth. It's just north of Pontypridd. And go back. There's a little slider on the top for the... if you haven't used Google Earth Pro, it's brilliant. I mean, for what we're doing, it's fantastic. One of the sad and frightening, really, well, sad, we'll go with sad, is the things that it can do with this, is it shows you that over the years you can see ancient sites, stone circles, things like that, then trees appearing and then them disappearing. And the way it works, you can go back to about 2003, I think, with satellite pictures, and then what they've got, it jumps back to 1945, where they've taken these aerial reconnaissance pictures and they've sort of stitched them together to make a sort of... my brain tonight. Like a duvet. What do you call a duvet? You sew all the bits together. A quilt, thank you. A patchwork quilt. Phew. A patchwork quilt of the pictures. So it doesn't join up perfectly. Alright. This is another picture from the period, and this is what's the killer one. Because we think this is 1945 as well. And, I gotta thank someone for putting these pictures up. I do apologise, the person who sent me the pictures or put them up on the Facebook group. Because there you see, it looks very much like it looks today. There is no big paths or trenches. But again, there's another mark perhaps here. So I'm so interested now to have more chat about this one. There's another stone about 5... Oh, hang on a second, Alan. I think there's this massive lag. You're miles behind me. So we're looking at another stone 5 miles from it. Took me... Okay, we're back to the Brecon stones. Yes, yeah, that's right. Sorry, just go back up one picture. Someone's mentioned this could have been a military practice. I think there was Alan as well, I think. Yeah, thank you, Craig. I think if these tracks were there and they were real, this would imply... for those maybe not aware, in the Second World War, before D-Day, a lot of American troops were stationed in South Wales. Huge numbers. And again, it goes back to the historical thing. Although everyone thinks about the Thames in the southeast of England, if you want to get the link to France, like Normandy and Brittany, where the invasion was taking place, is via the Severn. And it was the Severn estuary, just as back in Arthurian times, that was the link to France, and that's the route the Normandy invasion took. They're all along the south of the north bank of the Severn estuary. You got all like Cardiff and Swansea. These places were all bombed to bits in World War II. Doesn't get much mention for some reason. And of course the industrial and the mineral production, the coal. There's a lot of bombing and attacking on South Wales was done. And a lot of these places were disguised to confuse bombers. If there were any really prominent landmarks, which is very difficult for some reason with World War II technology and bombers. It was very difficult to navigate the valleys. I think the air movements were difficult and things like that. It was done at night. So if this could have been part of the American troop maneuvers, where they just have those big trucks and they're digging stuff up, or something could have been erected to confuse the German bombers, and all those theories I think are perfectly valid to look at. This one, though, could have come just before or just after. Hard to tell. Alright, and this one is 1969. Where did someone find this? The WG type? Yeah, not... This is the website, yeah. ArcGIS. If you look at that, you can find things, or QGIS. Okay, so on the 1969 one, again, those things have disappeared. They've disappeared, and it looks more or less like it does today. So the whole thing's a bit strange. Are they just marks on the film in a very awkward spot? Or, oh, actually it says Tuna Glow there, if you look very closely. Wow.
Oh, it does.
I can just about see it on my screen. It's almost like it's etched on or something. Okay, all right. Now in, back on, I got to move on because it's getting late.
It's been 51 minutes.
Thank you, Ali. I think we started slightly late.
I'm not Alan.
I'm Rob, what?
Arnie.
Oh, did I call you Alan?
Yeah.
How weird's that?
So I'm
Spent
smart.
too much time talking to him. You're as smart as Alan, do you? Don't think
You
so.
said it.
Did I? I don't say it to anyone else. Right, Nikki Griffiths. Again, Nikki, thank you again. You're travelling around. I hope you get a chance to see this, because I'm giving you another plug here for something that was shared on the Hidden History group. Now, this map, if you haven't seen it, is... Someone also asked last week, why is St. Genevieve the centre point? And that's explained in more detail in the Ark of the Covenant and in what we're going to do. Because the idea is, if you're not aware of it, is that King Arthur's there, one of his knights, up on the hill, discussing the star maps. Which reminds me, he plays a game of Coithbwrdd, which will be out. Everything's due. This will be being shipped out. Well, we'll have all the bits, and we're putting it out in the next 2 weeks. So again, this will go up for pre-order. This is a nice box. It's going to say Britain's Hidden History. What do you think we should put on the lid? I'm thinking the stars, maybe. You know that star map on there? And then when you open it up, please get a copy of this. Another way to support. If you don't just give money, that's fair enough. But something like this, ideal Christmas present. So a little bag with the little wooden pieces in there. That's all very nice. Can you see that on the camera? So the pieces like this. Okay, then we got the board. And then I was trying to demonstrate last time. It's going to be just as difficult this time, isn't it? So say we had this white piece on there with a black one next to him. If this one slid along next to him, he would be captured, alright? And you're going to get the king into the corners. It's a very simple one. I am going to try and do a video this week, but the book's a first priority. Explain how to play this. You can find stuff online about the rules. It's going to have Fitchel, which is the Irish game, very similar with more pieces. Welsh game, Coithbwrdd. And we're going to include extra boards in there to play the what they call the Viking Tavel games. Alright, so it's going to be a very nice little set. Probably about £15. You have different boards you can put in there. It's going to be great. What do you get? A perfect present for someone who's got everything, because they won't have this. I can pretty much guarantee they will not have this. It'll be a very nice little thing to keep, and good fun to play. The game's good fun. Actually, I haven't played you much, have I? I've been playing your brothers.
No.
I'm playing. I'm getting right now. Yeah, well, we'll do that in another video, I think, because I'm running out of time today. So look out for that as well, okay? And also, yeah. It reminds me, we're also someone sent through a fantastic idea for some T-shirts and other merchandise with Britain's Hidden History. Very clever idea someone had. So I'm not going to spoil that one until I show you it. Thank you. You know who you are with your very clever idea, bringing together a couple of different things. All right, so I've got what Nikki wrote here, what she wrote. Did I just put my glasses down? Honestly, get more and more absent-minded by the day. I'm just going to read this out quickly. Posted a few pictures. Okay, this is, you can see, Canis Major, Canis Minor, Canis being dog. Right, so, I was going to say this, hope Nikki doesn't mind. I think it's very good. For the past month, I've been gathering information about the Isis and/or Hathor shrine that Wilson and Blackett referred to in Discovery and represents the star Sirius and Wesson on the star map. I thought initially, as with the Lion Stone, that it was possibly carved as a heavenly cow with horns. The spiralling inwards Dendera zodiac shows Hathor as a cow with a moon between the horns. And we've all seen that kind of image with the two horns and a moon disc. That's a very important image. And that goes way back. You see it on hieroglyphs and all sorts of things. So, riding in a boat and a star above her head. I'm going to send some more pictures here. Oh, no, it's not that picture. However, it was the word the word shrine that put me off the idea of it being a stone marker. Wilson and Blackett tell us it's sited to the west of St. Kenneth, in the Valley of the Cows, in between the upper Pen Buch Achav and the lower cow Pen Buch Isav. Now, this is a very old map. So you put on here. No, I'm going to try and work it out because we haven't got the whole map, unfortunately, but it is not far from where I live. So there's Calathlai, that's the castles, Castellai. So this is towards Llantrisant, alright. Also it is Castellai Achav. Let's get this right. So there's Penbuch Achav, so that's the top one. Right, what I'm trying to say here is, I could do with Pontypridd about here. Oh, sorry, I'm pointing, you can't see my fingers. Yeah, so Pontypridd would be about here somewhere. And this is Llantrisant. And over here is St. Genevieve. This is when we're working out the star map. And again, if you're new to this, I'm going a little bit at the deep end here. The mounds and the hills in South Wales and loads of the stuff on them all correspond with the stars. And this is an ancient star map going back to Babylonian times. And I got some fantastic more stuff from Steve coming up after this piece by Nikki here, okay? So anyway, Wilson and Blackett tell us slightly to the west of St. Genevieve. So St. Genevieve is over here somewhere. I'm broadcasting from about here somewhere. The global see St. Genevieve. In the Valley of the Cows, between the upper, which is Pen Buch Achav, so Pen Buch, the cows there, head of the cows, and Pen Buch Isav, hidden in a remote wooded valley. The shrine itself marks the place of Sirius, the brightest star in the heavens. Having scoured Google Maps, I gave up, as it's no good for old place names. I looked at old parish maps. Parish maps, you see. Good thinking. It's a research. More people doing this, the faster we get there. Fantastic. And there in the parish map, number 83, at Llantris, and I found it. The Isis Hathor shrine or altar between Penbuch Achav and Isav. The shrine is not unfamiliar with this group, as I posted about it unknowingly about 6 weeks ago, and Ross has since visited it. The Isis Hathor shrine is in fact Taran Doisant. I think I put the video up already. If I haven't, it needs to go up because I filmed it. That very divine feminine altar and the place of Sirius on the star map. Not sure how I put the video up. It's beautiful. It's like into a cliff. It's this little, well, not even a cave. It's just been carved into the side. It's got the running water. It's so tranquil and fantastic. Very near to where my school was. I had no idea. People used to walk up there for a place to hide and things. Right, as for the location of the star Wesson, which means the bright, the shining, I don't know. Maybe it's Castellai Castle, or possibly Castellai Chapel further down the valley. Also, the star Mirzam, located at the left foot of Canis Major, meaning the ruler, reminds me of Miriam, Mary Magdalene's real name, or the Miriam, the angels that appeared to her at the tomb of Yeshua. Interestingly, the left foot, where Mirzam is located, may actually rest on the town of Bethai, which means graves, which is where you go to school, Arnie. Which means graves. There's an interesting triangle shape on the old parish map of Bethai. Now this is another one which I should have noticed. I was there every day. I went to school there as well. In this, the town is almost marked out like a triangle. You don't really think about these things when you're there, do you? Until someone says to you, have you ever noticed a triangle? And you go, yes. Anyway, so you think the triangle is significant. There's an interesting triangle shape on the old parish map of Bathai, which I haven't got a photo of yet. We'll post it later. Yes, it's still there. It's like the layout of the roads of the triangle. Pyramid, perhaps? How weird is that? Something else that tickles my thoughts is the name of Llantrisant, meaning parish of the three saints. These being Illtyd, Gwenno and Dyfodwg, according to local literature. Would these be the divine masculine aspects of Isis, Hathor and Mary? Taran Doisant means two saints. Did they conveniently drop Saint Mary Magdalene out of public sight? But three saints it should be. For me personally, I don't see any difference between Isis, Hathor and Mary. They're all queens of heaven that came in at different times. How fascinating is that? I'm sure we had a lot of comments on that one. That's right down the street here. And thank you. If you've done some research of your own, please send it through. I had a very good piece just a couple of hours ago about the Welsh Dragon, which unfortunately I've got time to put in at short notice because we're already late. Anyway, this is from Steve W. As you know, or maybe you don't know, the regular viewers will know, Steve has been doing fantastic work where he spent years and years and years walking the hills and marking out the stones and the circles and all these famous places. And then in more recent times, he's tied this in with Babylonian star maps, and from that you can see a lot of the old Welsh names are actually Babylonian names. How weird is that? How weird is that? You see some like Caerphilly, and you think, oh, it's the town of Philly. No, it's way back to the ancient Babylonian word for stag, and it fits in with the star maps. It's really mind-blowing how the whole of South Wales is star map, and it's not the only one. There are other star maps, not quite sophisticated, but circles showing the signs of the zodiac, definitely. North Wales, West of England, North of England, Northwest Scotland, just some of the ones we've noticed. Who knows? Maybe Lord of the Rings, the 9 for the men. 9 rings, something like that. Who knows? Right, so anyway, so we got there's many links, references to the Great Lions, links to the sun and summertime. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I didn't have the map. I didn't have the stuff loaded up. So here's a chance to see it properly. There are a lot of requests about it, a lot of interest. So you've got Trehafod, which is a place just north of Pontypridd. And I'll show you the map in a second. So originally called Hafod, which just means summer, dwelling place or residence. Other names near Trehafod include Hafod Achaf, Hafod Ganol, Cwm Hafod, and Hafod Fawr. So they're all like Cwm Hafod's the valley of summer, and Hafod Fawr is the big summer. Ganol, well, that's song probably. Song of summer, that's weird. And Hafod Achaf, I'd imagine that's above the summer place, so maybe above the summer valley. So interesting. There's Cuma. I spelt it wrongly. But it's phonetically the same as Cuma, which is what I spelt it as, which is the Babylonian, which is one similar, comparable, or resembling another, as in twins. Also Gemini, the twins. Then we got Mynydd Dinas, which I usually translate as Citadel Mountain. He's got City of Mountain. And the star Regulus was known as the King Star and was closely associated with the king of the gods, Marduk. Marduk was the god of the city of Babylon. So Marduk is the god of the capital, all right? Mynydd Dinas also appears to be a capital. It could be a reference to Jerusalem even. They've got Neath Bran House. Bran is a raven. So you've got Nest of the Raven. So between the Exalted Lion and the Great Twins would be the constellation of the crab or turtle. Now, since I mentioned this, I've had a few people send me stuff about crabs and turtles. I know we've got the link with Peru and Atuin, all that kind of thing. And if anyone wants to do some research, there already are people. And we've already put 3 or 4 people in touch with Steve. So now there's 4 people or 5 people in the group, which I always think is about the best number, about 4 or 5. Too big and it starts to become a bit lost. Little groups of 4 or 5 are ideal for studying, I find. But more groups can be set up, and there's more places if there's things you want to get involved in. This is a movement. It's an organisation, or no, that's a wrong word. It's a big group. It's not like let's see what Ross is doing now. It's not at all. It's more me reporting back what other people are doing. Okay. So I love this word. There it is, the exaltation of Jupiter. Sorry. So when in astrology, now this is something I mentioned on Thursday, without giving the whole story about the exaltation. This is how I'm having to learn about astrology. And like I say, it's not just history, is it? So when a planet reaches its secret place or greatest potency, it's said to be exalted. So when we were looking up the other night, Thursday night, it's clouded over now, but it's so clear here Thursday. The Mars was so bright. So this is the time it's exalted. And what you have to be aware of at times like this, and it goes on for another couple of weeks, is this when I know it sounds a bit hippie crystal bashing, but it does have an effect, okay? No one was more cynical than me a couple of years ago. I've seen so much and read so much now, I'm becoming more and more convinced. You do have to be aware of these energies and frequencies in your life. And the reason I'm mentioning it is these are, I would call them argumentative frequencies. They are when people are against each other, when there's a lot of strife and arguments and falling out and all those terrible things. So it's really important that all of us really think, particularly, for the rest, all time is good, right? But particularly the next couple of weeks, do not try to control, not be aggressive, okay? Try not to take offense when people say things or start arguments or become aggressive. Allow difference. Difference is fine, okay? It's like when we do these histories and that. Someone says it's all a load of nonsense. Fine, it's a load of nonsense. If that's what you think, it's fine. There's lots of evidence, and I'm going to follow that evidence and try and find out more. I find words to avoid. Try, like when we're discussing things on Facebook, or if you're discussing with other people, I'm trying very hard to avoid the word you. Y-O-U. I just don't say you anymore. You said is aggressive, right? So if someone says, Venus, City Mountain, it doesn't mean Venus at all. It means, I don't know, it means what else could it mean, Venus? People, Mountain of the People, right? Which is another interpretation of Venus. Instead of saying, well, you might think that, but I don't, you say, well, Venus can mean people, but it can also mean a city, it can also mean a capital. So I can understand why that could be true as well. So try and avoid the word you. Don't use the word but. But is a really bad word. I can see what you mean, but. Or you've been very good, but. I appreciate what you've been doing, but. That's one of those words. Try and remove it from your vocabulary, and you find life a lot easier, okay? Says me, who falls out with everybody. I try not to. I really am trying not to. Okay, so I'd say there's my two takeaways for today. Try and avoid the word you and but. And be nice to everyone, okay? We're all trying to find the truth here and the future. And we can never be certain. And it might be a situation where something comes up, we have to change our position. And changing position on something is very difficult if you already dug yourself in really hard, all right? Like World War I, once you've dug those trenches, it's very hard to move around, okay?
Oh, 67 minutes ago we started streaming.
Thank you, Arnie. That's very interesting. What? The child has spoken. What's that? Okay. Thanks for letting us know. You're going to bed. He's tired now. He's up very early this morning. Anyway, so where was I before I went off on a bit of a random philosophy thing? Yeah, so in this... Oh, exalted. That was it. Yes, remember, Mars exalted. Negative energies. People falling out. Don't do it. See? Never say don't either, all right? I just did that. And you should listen to me. But only if I say something good. So all those expressions, you know where I'm coming from. Okay, so people, alright, so, got home from work. Oh, you missed nearly all of it. Sorry, Dean. Dean Morgan just joining us. Anyway, so the occultation of Jupiter would occur near the constellation of the Crab in front of the exalted lion. This is going somewhere. Jupiter is also closely associated with the raven, which is Bran in Welsh in Babylonian tradition. Therefore, the nest of the raven could infer the exaltation of Jupiter and would be in the approximate location. So here gives you an idea, look. There we are. It's not just theory. Here are the places, all right? So Pontypridd, just down here. My Sequoia Hopkins down, all those were the places. So Gemini. Isn't this fantastic? I think what Steve's doing is absolutely brilliant. So there's Moon of Venus. There's the Cummer. There's Bran, so that was the Raven, remember? There's Cummer. What was Cummer again? Twins. So there's the twins. There's the city. So this would be the capital. And what we're going to have there. Duk duk dong. Moon of Venus. Just spent ages talking about it and forgotten it already. Marduk. So Marduk will be there. That could be a reference to Jerusalem or Marduk. We've got the twins, the raven. See, so what we do is working out following. And Leo the lion, yeah, this is interesting, you see. Should be up here, and sure enough, just up here. Actually, more or less where he's drawn it, I think. Where that arrow is, a bit of a clue, is where the famous lion stone is. As pointed out by Craig Walters, who I haven't heard from for ages. So Craig, drop us a line if you are there. And there's two in a glow, look. So it all ties in what I was saying earlier. Almost like I planned it that way. Almost. So there's two in a glow. So that's the same the Ark of the Covenant is. Alright, up there. And then this would tie in with the lion. With the lion pointing at the two in a glow. And then we've got... And the other thing you're working on then is an ecliptic, which is something I have to really go to town on. And do some research. I'm learning all about that. Okay, but also the other thing I was going to say with arguments and all that kind of stuff is Hugh Evans put to me, all we're doing is preparing ourselves for the next life. So don't be upsetting people now. And I had an old friend of mine who passed away a couple of years ago, who was a wonderful just wonderful person. He was 97 years old. I used to see him every week, exchanging wisdom. Well, I say exchanging, he was giving me wisdom. I was trying to pick up as much as possible. And he said an interesting thing happens when you die, in that you... for the next 2 or 3 days, you then meet all the people again that you met in your life. So all those people you treated badly, did bad things to, you are going to meet them again, is his view. It's an interesting thing to think about. So please, let's all stay friendly on this. And I have to say, so far, it's always been very friendly on the group, which is great. So here's the other lion, and there's two in a glow, and the Ark of the Covenant, perhaps. So that all ties in. And I want to talk more about Graham, it wasn't it, sent me about the dragon. Oh, Gloifboth. So I wasn't going to forget it. I already mentioned it. Oh yeah, just showing you. This hasn't come out very well. The graphics on the board are really good quality. They're really. This has come out a bit jagged for some reason. Doesn't look like that on the board itself. Okay, so this is and these are lines, and you can see the sort of star effect. These other boards are available, and we talked about that already. Just doing a quick one because I did a bit of a rush job on the... Can you get the globe? Oh, here it is. I made a bit of a mess up because the camera on Thursday, I was trying to show some of the maps and stuff, and everything got really messed up. So my big job has been redrawing all these maps. As you can see, they're starting to look nice. And let's give one idea, because people were asking, can you just give a little bit of a clue, what is this whole thing about, with the Odyssey actually being a completely different story, the one most people think it is. The Odyssey is a story that's been copied by Homer from an older story concerning an Egyptian circumnavigation of the world. And one of the parts, it's all in the Odyssey. Nothing's changed. No one's saying Homer's wrong. You just have to read it with this thing that Alan Wilson teaches us, to read things and just read what it says, not what someone else tells you it says. Read it literally, and then see if that's right before you start making up ideas. So here's an example. So one passage of the Odyssey. Nestor relates to Telemachus, who's very interesting, by the way, Telemachus. He might be from Britain. Anyway, the son of Odysseus... Sorry, wrong name. Anyway, the son of Odysseus, how the storms had battered his homeward-bound fleets. First he sailed with others from Troy, passing the Isle of Lesbos, and then continued south to pass Chios. I need to mark on these islands which one's at Chios. I think it's that one. This route, where they considered passing the eastern coast of Chios, is not a voyage heading for Greece. Yeah, the point is, if you're going to Greece, you would come this way. So if he was coming this way, I said, because we're too near the coast there, it should come down more like that and pass Crete. If he was going back up to Greece, it would be this way. Anyway, after he went past Cape Sunium, the helmsman of King Menelaus' ship fell dead. This indicates the fleets were heading south between Tinos in the west and Nicaria in the east of the passage, which is this passage here. Alternatively, they had sailed southwest, or they gone that way. A bit rusty on the maps now. And headed for the Cape Malea, the southwestern tip of the Peloponnese. Down here. The delay caused by the need to go ashore to bury the dead helmsman Phrontis caused Menelaus to be at sea when the storm rose. He's sailing past, and you can read the rest of this. The point is, he's trying to get to Egypt. And what I want to compare with this very confusing map here. This is... We are only 6,000 years civilized, apparently. Oh, wow, there's loads of comments I missed out on. Just thought I'd let
Griff
you know.
said instead of
That's Griff.
posting a video about rescheduling, just put it on the community tab. I don't know what that is.
Oh, there we are. The youngsters are telling you about community tabs. You can show me next time you're over, Griff, alright? I don't even know what that is. This, in case you think... so what Wilson and Blackett is showing, they come from Troy. You'll see there's more maps, a lot more explanation in the book. A lot better than that Dogs Den I just did. The journey comes down, comes down here. This is the point. Like that. And down to Egypt, right? Past Libya, down to Egypt. Now, and then you get the Odyssey. Let's go to the next map. The Odyssey itself comes down through the Red Sea. Because one of the things you find is you go south for many, many days. Which is just not possible in the Mediterranean because you crash into North Africa. Alright, so he comes down here. Follows this down. There's Mohenjo-Daro, which is archaeological evidence to support this place being sacked at the right sort of time. All the way down to India. We've gone down there and down through into the Pacific. Now this, which seems quite a logical route, and it does tie in with the Homer's Odyssey. Now this, what I've done here, this map, is the main theories of where Odysseus... Don't forget, Odysseus is known as the cunning one. He's the one who invented the Trojan horse, all his cunning ways of taking cities, and he's the best sailor. He's brilliant, he's brilliant, he's brilliant. He's got to get across from Troy, and he's supposed to live here, Ithaca, around here somewhere. And some of that takes him between 3.5 to 10 years, depending on how you read the text. And he's supposed to have gone here, then there. And this is always different adventures, like lotus eaters and cyclops and flesh eaters, cannibals, the islands, Calypso, all these different things are all supposed to happen in the Mediterranean. So people must have thought this is ridiculous. So he's gone there, then some people think he goes this way and ends up in here, and some think he's gone that way, and he zigzags back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. 3.5 to 10 years to do this little journey. I mean, it's ridiculous. They say Helen's the face that launched 1,000 ships. Well, thank God Odysseus wasn't in charge of how they got there. So it took him 3.5 to 10 years to get from there to there. The fleet would never have made it. So he must have known the way. They know the Mediterranean. It's an easy navigational area. People at the moment are crossing it on rafts in a day or in a few hours. So it's clearly ridiculous. This story is absolutely fantastic when you get into this. And you can see then he comes down, cross through here, and this is where you see there. Is that the globe gone over? Can you pick it up, please? This is where you get down then, possibly where you have the cannibals, the only real known areas known for cannibals. Then you got the peaceful, loving people. And one of the key factors is that at some point they're going even further south, and this is where, if you read in Homer, you will see if a man could go without sleep, he could earn 2 days' wages in a day. Because you're right down the bottom of the South Pole, where you've got almost endless days, or endless nights if it's in the winter. And the problems they have with navigation would seem to be due to the fact they can't see the North Star. Nearly all navigation in those days was done by the stars, and if you're on the southern hemisphere, you can't see them. Alright, then you got the warlike people, which I tend to think might be the Fijians, but Wilson Blackett go for New Zealand. And thank you very much, because I put an appeal out on Thursday. So I haven't got some more information, because I'm trying to find out about the hieroglyphs in Australia, to put more about that into the book. And people have come forward. Thank you very much. And I'll give you name checks as well for that. Put your name in the book as well. And similarly with New Zealand, where there's evidence there of very ancient visitors, Phoenicians, everything's Phoenician, or Egyptians, going way back to the right sort of period. And even, we're not really indigenous, but white people there predating the Maoris. So a lot depends on when the Maoris were there. So all this would tie in. Then we come across them there, down through Pitcairn, and you'll see, if you follow the globe there, if you go across, and there's better maps in the book. It's so tiny. If you got there, you can actually island hop across. Across. Maybe you can see that. You island hop across. Easter Island's about here. I'm finding out so much geography as well. All in the name of history. Pitcairn Islands and Easter Islands, all these little tiny dots you'd hardly even know were there, unless you really looked hard for them. And follow South America, and this is where you get the Cape.
Oh, you might actually want to be on full screen for that.
Oh, Go to full screen for that. Good idea. Thanks, Arnie. I'll do that again. So these are maps drawn in the book, but I just want to give you an idea. So there's New Guinea, Australia, New Zealand. So as you come across the Pacific, you'll see things. Oh my goodness, all these maps, can't remember the name. French Polynesia and all these places across here. Lots of islands you recognise, Cook Islands, things like that. Tonga, Fiji, Tahiti. Then you get to Pitcairn Islands, around like here somewhere. You keep going, you get to Easter Island eventually. You got some long sailing to do, mind. No wonder there's hardly anyone left. This would be a killer journey. And then we come down to here, the Cape Horn, around South America, which is where you get the famous choice shown in the... what's the next place you got here? No. There's the famous choice shown in the Odyssey. You either go through the cliffs or around the edge, and you got Scylla and all that kind of stuff. It's great. Brilliant adventures. And that would represent cutting through the Straits of Magellan, all going around the Cape. And then you've got the Falklands, the seals being the cows, and up they go and home and home. It's awesome story. And thank you to those people who come forward and helped me with this. It's been absolutely brilliant. I really want to get out the next week or two. All these things will get out ready for Christmas market. Perfect for gifts. And this book in particular, I would say, if you've got a friend, or if you are new to this whole era of research, and particularly Wilson and Blackett's work, and those big books are a bit daunting. Maybe you've got someone who's interested but doesn't really want to do all that. This will be a perfect first book because it's full of pictures and maps and cartoons and all that kind of stuff. It's not a very big book. The amount of text you could read it quite easily. It's not intimidating, and I think if you've got people there who think the whole thing is just absolute, why you're bothering. It's such a fascinating subject, such a great story. That'd be a good introductory book, I would suggest. Alan Wilson also suggests that's the book that will get people into this, because they can see then how clever the research is, how it all ties in. And this journey as well, of course, it ties in then, it ties in with the Trojan War, and who Menelaus is, and who Agamemnon was, who Helen was. All of this ties in, because what Homer's done is transfer a lot of the story onto those characters. But also you can see, I'm saying too much in one go, put people off. But you can also see how Ramses 1, Necho 1 is Ahmed.
Oh, you're not on screen share for that.
Oh, is Agamemnon. No, I didn't need screen share.
Oh, but you're showing the maps there.
No, it's okay. Sorry, back to me. So, thank you. So anyway, so it's showing that, so throw me a bit then, who all these characters are anyway, who Agamemnon is, who Menelaus is, who Helen is, all those. It's in the Trojan War book, and if you want to read further, go on that one, isn't it? So okay, so I think we're almost there. Thank you very much indeed, everyone. A bit late, and, a couple of little extra ones, just a little bit of fun ones at the end. Thank you, Gavin Lloyd. I got some North Wales pictures, they're rather beautiful, I thought I'd share them. This is Carn Horse, Arthur, and Bearded Lake. Hands up, I don't know much about this, but what we are looking into is, I'll put this on screen, haven't I? What we are looking into at the moment is a little bit more about Camlan. If you've read the Arthurian stories, you will probably know that the big showdown between Modred and Arthur was at Camlan, and that's way up by Dolgellau. And so land at Longborth on the west coast and come across, fight the landing there where Geraint died and Beth Geraint, and then chase them out of the country, and at some point then the crooked, I keep wanting to say canyon, this valley, is a little gorge, and that's where the Battle of Camlan is supposed to be taking place. It's a place there called Camlan, fits the description, it fits the route. It's one of the other ones. Why is there a mystery? Why is there argument about this? I mean, we know the name, the people involved, there it is. Hey, so what we're trying to do is find more evidence around there to support that being the place, okay? So, and by coincidence, or as part of this, Gavin sent some lovely pictures. Look at that, isn't that fantastic? So I'm just, Carn Horse, Arthur, and Bearded Lake. So I'm hoping to learn more about these areas. Absolutely fantastic. So we go, Carn March Arthur. So must be something to do with that battle, I'd have thought. Kind of need to get the geography in my own head and work it out. So people, if you're in North Wales, Mid Wales, You want to get more involved, want to do some more research, get in touch with Gavin. We've also got Richard Evans up there, who is most stalwart supporter in all this, fantastic person. And he's involved in this as well. And there's a group of people, let's get people doing more work in North Wales as well. And there's some writing and stuff, there's a bit of a close-up there, so you can have a look, try and work out what's going on with these stones. And there's actually a second one, which I also believe this is also called Carn Arthur, which is also up north. Gwynedd, up in Gwynedd, which is a pretty big county actually, and it's my ignorance not knowing more precisely where it is. Okay, so what I want to talk about next week, I mentioned Johnny Booker came in to see me, and we had a fantastic talk, and he's also a great supporter of the group.
Oh, one thing.
Yes?
Were you meant to be on screen share for those pictures?
I think I was, wasn't I?
You weren't. I'm
no way. Let's see the pictures. Thanks, Rob. That's Robert Shaw there. Hey, Robert, is your book done yet? Come on, we want to get that out. Thank you, Robert. Yeah.
Idiot.
Now you can see the stunning picture. What I want as well next time when he's setting this up is an option for full picture screen, okay? So they can't see me at all. No, I know I didn't. I know, I'm just saying it now for next week. So they can't see me blushing with embarrassment for messing it up. So I can hide myself and just do that for a while. Alright, so there's the lake, okay? It's a lot better, isn't it? Beautiful, thanks for the pictures
you're still
there.
not on screen share.
Well, why not? I'm pressing the buttons, it's not changing.
Press 2.
Why isn't he doing it?
You're pressing 2.
Well, I just did then. Oh, what's happened now?
Because you just said, now you can see the wonderful
Yeah, I pressed it before. Good job you're there, innit? There we go. Let's see if it works now on this massive lag.
broke.
David Mosley, what we got there? Hey, look at that beautiful picture. I have friends and family, so will inquire. They love this subject. Well, there we are. Let's look at more to this, isn't it? Chris, look out for Forbidden Archaeology by Cremo and Thompson. Lots of stuff written off as similarities or unexplained. Yeah, we like unexplained and coincidences and stuff like that. There are amazing steps on the Orkney Islands too. Yes, Patricia, you are quite right. And we've got a few people in Scotland. Well, I keep saying, I keep advertising, we want to do this Scottish thing. I'm glad you mentioned it because a little while ago, I had not one but two people came in touch with me, really pushing hard the idea of Arthur being Scottish. A lot of information to support that, and they're very adamant about it. So bring it on, let's have a look. I'm here to learn. My inclination is that these Arthur references would refer to the campaign, the famous battles he fought in Scotland, as shown in Walking Book, which I'm continuing the serialization. I haven't got time to get the videos up, there's so much going on, but we've almost read all of it now. We're on to the northern campaigns. So I think the reference is to that, but hey, let's find out, hey? As I was saying before, you know, we're going to exchange different ways of looking at it, both trying to find the answer. Okay, so look at that fantastic lake, beautiful. There's the Carn March Arthur. Alright, thank goodness someone said he couldn't see the pictures.
Oh, in between North America and South America, there's a sea called the Bean Sea.
Been seeing you all along. There we go, I'm glad you learned some geography, Arnie. Yeah, schooling's not wasted, is it? Right, so here we go, there's the writing on the stone. A lot more. You've got much more chance of cracking it now, haven't you? Now you can see it. So like I was saying, and there's the other Carn Arthur as I understand it. Alright? So enjoy the pictures, please. More people in North Wales, and also the north of England. Says Elmot, if you're not sure what that is, it's Yorkshire, a lot of it. I was thinking it more as Leicester, but no, I've had Johnny Booker come in, put me right. And you can go on Wikipedia, just look it on Wikipedia. I can't do it on this computer, I was going to show you on there, but I did. Everything's run smoothly, apart from me pressing the wrong buttons. Let's go with it. So, please, if you're from Elmot, from Yorkshire, Cumbria, all them kind of places, we're going to do a special on that. And I'm going to chase you up, Benny, this week about giving me some tips, because Johnny's one of those people I want to get on, because he used to run tours up there, walking tours. I'm sure with a bit of persuasion he'd do some more even. Up the Lake District as well. Lake District, a lot of surprising ancient history there. He was interested in this site because he's been promoting a lot of these things as being Roman. course, everything's Roman, but now he's not so sure, maybe. And there's a historian up there, an old boy in his 80s, who's done fantastic research on finding these ancient canals, 2,000-year-old canals and bridges and crossings and all sorts of weird stuff, which gets no attention at all. It's more Britain's hidden history. The old boy's... sorry, I should have got a bit... I'm not trying to be rude. I just don't know his name off the top of my head, which is a shame. She's got a really interesting website, which John introduced me to. But we'll do all that as one big thing. I like to do an interview as well and gathering pictures. So not being in South Wales does not mean you can't be doing more of this, okay? So look out for that. And here's another one, wherever you are. Thank you for Ian for this one. This is all to do with, excuse me, those dots are hill forts. So as you can see, there's a lot. And what's particularly frustrating is all the archaeology seems to be done in this area, but all the hill forts and everything seems to be in this area and this area. It's very frustrating. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to mention, when I was talking about Patrick, which I'd like to know more about as well, and I think people in the group like to share, is when Patrick arrives in Ireland, he complains about the treatment Ceredig is giving to the Irish people, treating them really badly apparently. Now Ceredig is someone who'd gone over from Wales and carved out a little kingdom in the east of Ireland. Originally the Irish had landed in North Gwynedd area around here, and the family had come down to kick them out was the idea. They kicked them out and pursued them, and something that never gets mentioned in history books at all is there was British kingdom in Ireland at this time, and this would seem to time in with what's called a Roman fort. There's no record of the Romans ever going there. This could well have been built by the British. We're talking 3rd or 4th century, maybe 5th century, and that's recorded as part of the Patrick story as well. So there's a lot of interesting little side routes. Anyway, there we go. Wow, I think we covered a lot this week. I think that was it. Yes, there we go. So back to me. Whew. Is that all right?
Finally.
Finally. Was it that bad, Arm? Was it? Oh,
it wasn't.
geez,
It was
not
good.
that bad. Not that bad, he
was
says.
alright.
It's all right. It's all right. All right's pretty good for me. I'll take all right. If you get called all right by your own children, that's high praise indeed. Okay, right. So I was going to try and somehow... Oh, that's nice. Can give your dad a hug. Good boy. Right, so I'm trying to get to the desktop so I can actually... I can't. It won't let me. There we go. Hope you're still on me. Because I just want to do the... Any more comments? Any more questions? Not been many questions about for me lately. I noticed that. People are sitting there enjoying it. Getting their, people are telling you I get all sorts of nice stories. People get their cups of tea out or something a bit stronger. And people have a meal. It's not even the comments. What were you doing while this program was on? And a lot of people have their dinner, it seems. And so you can't very easily leave comments or questions.
Lots of people come
if
home
you're
from
tucking.
work.
Yeah, a lot of people work on Sundays. I'm sorry to hear that. It's not nice having to work on a Sunday, is it? So unless you're a preacher or a church or something. Yeah, so thank you again for... next week we'll do something on the dragon as well. Where the dragon comes from. Is the dragon a cherub? Does it tie in with the Bible? How ancient is it? Great show. Thank you, Mark. We are Britain. Arthur Maurig. Oh my God, Arthur himself. The once and future king is here tonight. Well done, Croeso I Arthur. Heddwch. Right, it's all British to me, Alan. Oh, loads of comments coming in now. My granddaughter is Gwyneth and never set foot in Wales yet. Well, there we are. With a name like Gwyneth, you got to come, haven't you? And I got someone else here whose granddaughter is Gwenflew. That's Richard. There's lots of Gwens and Gwyns. I usually call my wife Gwen as well. There we are. That sounds bizarre. It's not a name, but it just means pretty, isn't it? And you got Gwenol, which is like a little sparrow, which is like a little pretty thing. There you go. So lots of things. I feel like I missed something out, but I wrote it all down. I've tried to be good. Let's just check my list. Yeah, so look out for the fundraiser to help get Wilson and Blackett, the ones who kept all this alive for so long, and they now need our help. They are old and need our help, alright? They ploughed all their time and resources into doing this. I'm just looking at the lag, you can see Arnie's face on there. There we go. Alright, so everybody, have a lovely week. There will be videos this week. And thank you again to all those wonderful people in the typing task force. And we'll do it all again next week. Yeah, well done. Thank you, Chris. Right, I shall wave goodbye, but Heddwch, and I will join in the comments just for a few moments. I'll be under Arnie's name. Hopefully he's gone to bed. Oh my goodness, 20 to 10. I think that's how long I rambled on. Alright then, nos stari chi Heddwch pob. I'll leave that on. If that works. Oh yeah, and if you like the music, will be on sale this week. I forgot. Okay, I'll start.
My heart is pounding at the thought of